You feel it, don't you? That other version of you? The one that's locked away more powerful, more to the succeed, more respected. But fear and self-doubt are the guards at the gate, and they've kept you a prisoner for way too long. Every single time you get close to a breakthrough, their whispers pull you back into the safety of who you are, stopping you from becoming who you were meant to be. This isn't another video about positive thinking. This is a blueprint. We're going to walk through a process to tear down those limitations and build the authoritative person you're supposed to be. But we're not using wishful thinking. We're using the timeless, ruthless principles of Machiavellian strategy to forge you into someone who doesn't just earn respect, but commands it. Think of this as an initiation. Most people are trained to be harmless, polite, and predictable. You're here because something inside you refuses to accept that fate. The world doesn't reward goodness. It rewards leverage. It rewards people who understand human nature and refuse to be controlled by it. From this moment on, you stop reacting. You start calculating. Here are the 8 Machiavellian principles to unlock the person you're afraid to become. The first principle is the foundation for everything: brutal acceptance. This isn't self-pity. It's a cold, rational audit of your reality. You need to look in the mirror and acknowledge every weakness, every failure, and every excuse you've ever made, not with shame, but with the detached focus of a strategist surveying the battlefield. Most people live in a cozy delusion, blaming their circumstances, other people, or just bad luck for their mediocrity. That's the victim mentality, and it is the heaviest chain you carry. Brutal acceptance means you take total ownership of everything. Your lack of discipline, that's your fault. Your fear of confrontation, your fault. Your position in life is a direct result of your actions and, more importantly, your inactions. When you own all of your outcomes, you build what psychologists call an internal locus of control. You stop being a passenger in your own life and grab the steering wheel. It's a painful process, no doubt. It requires you to kill the part of you that craves sympathy. But from this brutal honesty, an indestructible foundation of resilience is born. Your failures are no longer reasons to quit. They're data points for growth. This is the first, non-negotiable step toward real power. You can't change what you refuse to acknowledge. Principle 2 is to master emotional detachment. Think of your emotions as a currency, and you've been spending it carelessly. Your anger, your frustration, your joy, your need for validation, these are all leverage points that other people can and absolutely will use against you. To become powerful, you have to learn to put a leash on your emotions. Machiavellian thinking teaches us that emotions cloud judgment and invite manipulation. When you react emotionally, you're giving away control. You're showing your hand. The powerful person, however, feels the same emotions but doesn't act on them impulsively. They observe them, analyze them, and then decide how to respond strategically. This creates an aura of calm strength, making you immune to provocation while others reveal their own insecurities. Practice this daily. When someone insults you, don't get angry. Observe their attempt to get a rise out of you. Why are they doing it? What weakness are they showing? When you hit a major success, don't burst with pride. Acknowledge it and move on to the next objective. This isn't about becoming a robot. It's about turning your feelings into tools you control, not strings for others to pull. Master your internal world, and you become unshakable in the external world. The third principle: embrace strategic silence. In a world drowning in noise, silence is a weapon. You've been taught that to be influential, you have to be loud and constantly contribute. This is a lie, designed to keep you talking, revealing information, and giving away your leverage. Silence completely dominates interactions. It withholds information, which breeds uncertainty and, in turn, respect. Every time you speak, you're giving people data they can use against you. But when you stay silent, you force them to fill the void. They get uncomfortable. They start revealing their own intentions, their fears, and their strategies, all while you remain a mystery. Only speak when you have something of value to say. And then say less than you have to. Let your actions do the talking. In a negotiation, after you make your offer, be quiet. Let the other person break the silence first. In an argument, if you're attacked, Meet their aggression with calm silence. It's unnerving. It signals that you are not threatened. Your words should be like currency, valuable because they're rare. Most people talk themselves out of power. You'll gain it by mastering the art of saying nothing at all. Principle number 4 is to cultivate unpredictability. If people can predict your next move, they can control you. Predictability is a massive vulnerability. The person who's a creature of habit, whose reactions are always the same, is just a pawn on the chessboard. To command respect, you have to be unreadable. Machiavellian strategy demands that you constantly disrupt people's expectations, alternate between warmth and detachment, between being present and being distant. This keeps people off balance, constantly trying to figure you out. They become focused on you, orbiting you as they chase a certainty you never provide. If you're always kind, your kindness will be taken for granted. But if you're occasionally cold, your warmth becomes a reward. Evolve your tactics. If your team expects you to be agreeable in meetings, show up one day ready to ruthlessly dissect every single proposal. If your rivals expect you to react with anger, greet a setback with an unsettling calm. This isn't about being erratic just for the sake of it. It's about controlled chaos. Your unpredictability makes it impossible for others to form a strategy against you. They can't hit a moving target. These principles are not for the faint of heart. They require a commitment to shedding your old skin and looking at the world as it is, not as you wish it were. If you're serious about this transformation, if you're ready to stop being a pawn and start being a player, then signal your commitment. Comment I face the mirror below. This isn't for me. It's for you. It's a declaration that you're done hiding from the person you're afraid to become. The 5th principle is to weaponize your absence. Scarcity creates value. That's a fundamental law of economics, and it's a fundamental law of power. The more available you are, the less you're valued. You've been trained to be reliable, to always be there, to answer every text instantly. This behavior makes you common. It makes you expendable. To become a person of influence, you must learn to strategically withdraw. When you're always present, your contributions become background noise. But when you make yourself scarce, your presence becomes an event. Your ideas suddenly carry more weight. Your approval becomes a prize to be won. This has to be calculated. Don't disappear when you're truly needed. That's just being unreliable. Disappear after you've secured a victory or when your input has become routine. Let people feel your absence. Let them notice the void you leave behind. This inflates your value in their minds and makes them eager for your return. Absence doesn't just make the heart grow fonder. It makes the mind grow intrigued. Control your accessibility, and you control your value. The 6th principle is to build an anti-fragile ego. A fragile ego needs constant praise. It shatters with criticism. An anti-fragile ego, on the other hand, doesn't just survive shocks. It gets stronger from them. You have to reframe every attack, every failure, and every setback as a chance to grow stronger. Instead of looking for external validation, build unshakable self. Your sense of worth has to come from your own internal scorecard, not from the applause or boos of the crowd. When you're criticized, you don't crumble. You extract any useful information, discard the noise, and become more resilient. When you fail, you don't see it as a reflection of your worth. You see it as a lesson that just made you more knowledgeable. This mindset makes you terrifying to your opponents. How can they possibly defeat someone who gets stronger every time they're attacked? They can't. Their insults become your fuel. Their attempts to undermine you become training exercises that sharpen your resolve. Stop protecting your ego. Start training it. Welcome the hits, and let them forge you into something unbreakable. The 7th principle: move in mystery. The more people know about you, the more power they have over you. Oversharing is a critical weakness, and it's born from a desperate need for validation. You reveal your plans, your ambitions, your vulnerabilities, hoping for a connection. Instead, you're just handing out a user manual on how to defeat you. A person who commands respect is an enigma. Their intentions aren't broadcast to the world. Their next move is never obvious. This aura of mystery generates respect and intrigue because people are naturally drawn to what they don't understand. When your actions are visible but your motives are hidden, you create a space for others to project their own ideas onto you. They'll often attribute more intelligence and power to you than you might actually have, simply because you haven't given them anything to prove otherwise. Resist the urge to explain yourself. Your results are your explanation. Let success be your statement. When people ask about your methods, be vague. When they ask about your goals, speak in generalities. This isn't about being dishonest. It's about strategic information control. In a world of open books, be the one written in a language nobody else can read. The final and most critical principle is to solidify your identity. This is the point of no return. To truly become the person you remain, to be you, must be willing to burn the bridges to the person you once were. This means cutting off mediocre influences, abandoning self-destructive habits, and making your transformation permanent. Your environment and the people in it are either pushing you toward greatness or pulling you back to mediocrity. It's time to perform an emotional surgery on your life. Cut out the noise from weak, cynical, and unambitious people. Their mindset is a disease, and your proximity is how it spreads. It might be lonely at first. That's the price of sovereignty, but your clarity and focus will skyrocket. You must make this new identity non-negotiable. It is who you are now. The disciplined, detached, and powerful individual isn't a mask you wear. It's your new reality. This requires you to reject comfort and embrace the difficulty of this new path until it becomes second nature. You are no longer the person who makes excuses or fears confrontation. You are the architect of your circumstances. By burning the bridges, you remove any option of retreat. There's only one way forward. The person you're afraid to become isn't some kind of monster. It's the version of you that has finally shed the fear, the doubt, and the need for approval that have held you captive. These principles: brutal acceptance, emotional detachment, strategic silence, unpredictability, weaponized absence, an anti-fragile ego, mystery, and the solidified identities, they aren't just tactics. They are a code, a new operating system for your mind. This path isn't easy. It demands discipline and a ruthlessness directed not at others, but at your own weakness. But the reward is true freedom. It is the power to shape your own reality, to command respect without asking for it, and to finally unlock the full measure of your potential. The choice is yours. You can keep being the person you be, always been, or you can start today and take the first step toward becoming the person you were always meant to be. The real you. Now, go and act. Your future self is waiting.